Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Susan's Just Making It. I'm Susan, and as always, I'm making stuff, messes, chaos, and just trying to make it through life. I'm on here today to hopefully have a short video to discuss something quick with you guys that I feel is very important. If you're a highly sensitive person, you may not want to watch this video because there's some sensitive subject matter that's going to be contained in this video. This is a message to parents and even grandparents to be very open and available to your kids or grandkids if that's the case. I would like to think that when my kids were growing up, even if it was something I didn't particularly want to discuss or hear about, or I would get upset about, I still try to make it so that my kids could come and talk to me about whatever. And there have been times that my kids are like, Mom, I didn't want to call you, it was too late. And I'm like, if something's bothering you or you need to talk to me, I don't care what time it is. It could be 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Call me. If it's that important, I will make the time. The reason I'm saying this is we really, really, really need to be there to listen to what our kids have to say. And we really need to, as much as possible with our individual personalities, let them know that that is something that's available to them. And we need to make an effort as parents and grandparents and such, guardians, to know what's going on in our kids' lives. The reason I'm saying this is because I found something out earlier today that has been weighing on my mind a lot since I heard about it. A local middle school to me, and I'm not going to mention the school name because there was something posted on social media that in the meantime has been taken down. A local middle school close to me, there was a 12-year-old boy that was being bullied, and the bullying was really out of hand. Not that any bullying is okay, but this child was bullied to the extent that on a recent occasion, this boy was beaten by a group of kids, stomped on by them, and urinated on by them. The boy went home and shot himself because the bullying had gotten to that excessive of a point. And it weighs heavy on my mind because the bullying had to be very severe for a child to think that that was their only way out, was to take their life because they couldn't stand the bullying anymore. And there's supposed to be at the local schools in my area zero tolerance for bullying. I don't know what the situation is on that. My kids are no longer in school. My grandson is only in 1st grade, but there's supposed to be a zero tolerance. But it makes me wonder if this boy had someone to reach out to that he felt safe bringing this to their attention. Maybe something could have been done. And not only that, what is going on with parenting that any child in that age group thinks that in any remote way is okay to beat, stomp, and urinate on another child? I feel like there has to be some accountability somewhere with the children and the parents. I tried to be an open availability to my kids to come and talk to me about whatever they needed to talk to me about. And sometimes there's things that was uncomfortable for me to sit down and talk to my kids with it, especially me being a mother and them being sons. But I didn't have the judgment. I did not want to ever shut that down. Now, my kids were by no means perfect. My older son was quite the bully himself. But believe me, when I found out about it, there was consequences to that. I made sure he knew that was not to be tolerated, and I did everything that I could to address that issue. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable that children are killing themselves because they are getting bullied to that extent. This has been on my mind so much. It's not the school district I'm living in. It's close by. I do not know the name of this child. I do not know anything about this other than the incident. And the thing is, here we just sat down and celebrated Thanksgiving, what we have to be grateful for and thankful for. This poor family lost their child right before Thanksgiving. and actually the child was put on life support till they could harvest his organs, and they actually took him off life support, and he died yesterday. And like I said, I don't know this family, but this is heartbreaking for any parent to lose a child. And under these kind of circumstances, I can't even remotely fathom what this family is going through. And I guess the whole message is that I'm trying to put out there is try to know what your kids are doing. Try to make yourself available to your kids, even if it's stuff that is uncomfortable to talk about. We need to be there for our kids. I think it makes me wonder, did the parents even, did they know this was going on? I'm really bothered by this, and like I said, it's really, really, really weighing on my mind. And it's like, we need to do better. We need to do better. Just a little personal story. I don't think my son probably would like me sharing this, but I mentioned he was a bit of a bully when he was younger. And there was one particular kid that he bullied quite a bit, and made his life quite intolerable. And they kind of went their own ways, and then they kind of reconnected when they were a little bit older. And my son tried to make amends for what he did the best he could, and there was forgiveness, and there were ways, you know, the relationship was mended. But shortly after them mending that and becoming close friends, this particular young man passed away. And I know it still bothers my son because he brings it up every so often. And even when my children remain grown, you call me, you talk to me about whatever is bothering you. I don't care if I'm busy. I'll stop what I'm doing. If I'm sleeping, I will wake up. And it still bothers him. And he tells me all the time, I feel so bad for the way I treated him. And then once we became friends, I lost him. And it really bothers him. And not that I want my child to be tormented, but in a way, I think that needs to be there, because now he has to live with that the rest of his life, that this young man is no longer on the face of the earth, and my son made a great deal of his life miserable. And I'm just feeling like there needs to be some accountability in this situation. And I know it sounds really terrible, and you may think I'm a bad person, but I hope the kids responsible that played a part in this feel terrible. And I hope it does haunt them their whole life. I really do, as bad as that sounds. Because this family has lost their child. This kid got to the point that he killed himself because of the bullying. No 12-year-old child should ever feel like that. And I can't even fathom, if it was to the point that he had to take his own life, how much abuse that he endured before he got to that point. My sister was telling me this. She was practically crying. I was on the verge of tears and stuff. I don't even know these people. I don't care that I don't know these people. It's not acceptable. It's not anything that should ever happen. And sadly enough, I'm sure that you guys have heard stories. It does happen. And I'm not one to tell anybody how to raise their kids or anything like that. But the message I'm trying to get out there is try to be aware of what your kids are up to. I know we can't hold our kids' hands 24 hours a day. I was a single mother. I worked. I only had limited knowledge of what my kids were doing when I wasn't with them. But try the best you can to be aware of what your kids are up to. And try to, I mean, even if you had to go to some kind of counseling or something like that to learn how to be that available, there's too many kids that are suffering in silence because they don't feel like there's anybody they can talk to. And I don't know. And by no means, I was never the perfect mother. I did a lot of things really messed up. But like I said, even though my kids are grown, if you need to talk to somebody, come to me. You know, I may not agree with what you're talking about. I may not like what you're talking about. I may not want to hear it. But I'll still be here and I'll still listen. And, you know, make yourself that safe place. Or if your kids don't feel comfortable coming to you, try to make sure that there's someone in their life that they do feel comfortable talking to. If you're a parent and the child's more comfortable talking to an aunt or a grandparent, try to make sure there's that person somewhere in their life. Because I would like to think that if someone were there, this particular situation would not have come to that. So I don't want to make this video super long. I just wanted to come on and like put that out there. Maybe if it puts like a little grain of something in somebody's mind to maybe think about something and be more aware or something like that. I mean, I don't really even know why I sat down to this. It's just weighing on my mind. And if it changes like one little situation, maybe it's worth me doing this quick video. It's just a tragedy, and I don't know. We just need to maybe try a little harder. I know parenting isn't easy, believe me, I know, but we just need to do more. The bullying has got to stop. There are way too many kids taking their lives because bullying has gotten out of control, and there needs to be more accountability. And I know in some states that when kids get into a fight at school and there's any bullying, that the parents are held accountable. And a lot of people have different opinions about that too, like, oh, I'm a parent, I can't control what my kids do. Yeah, but as parents, we plant the seeds when they're young. So I think we just need to do better. So until the next video, those of you that have stuck with me to watch the video, I'm sorry if it was too sensitive for some people because it's really bothering me. Just something to think about. So until the next video, bye everyone.